Subscribe our Nehra Classes YouTube channel to watch free live training sessions and to avail the membership facilities and additional perks, click the join button. Vikas Nehra, welcome you all to our session number 4 of ongoing RHCSA version 10 training. In this session, we are going to talk about the Linux shell prompt, Linux command format, and man pages in Linux. At the end of this session, I will provide you the practice questions. You guys are requested to go through the questions and try them at your own. You can also go through the solutions in case if you need any help there. Okay, so let's start the session with Linux shell. Now the question is, what is a Linux shell? Shell is not this terminal where we are executing the commands. Actually, shell is loaded on the terminal, which is providing us an interface so that we can execute the commands. A shell is a command line interface that allows users to interact with Linux operating system. It acts as an intermediary between user and the Linux kernel, interpreting the commands and executing them. So this terminal is actually not the shell. Shell is the environment which is loaded on this terminal, and it is providing us the interface so that we can execute the commands, and it is actually acting as a intermediary between us and the Linux kernel. Shell interprets the commands and execute them. So shell is not the terminal that you generally use. There are multiple shells available in Linux. If you want to know how many shells are available in your machine, you can execute the command cat etc shells. So we have /bin/sh, we have /bin/bash, /usr/bin/sh, /usr/bin/bash. Actually, there are only two shells currently available in this machine. First is sh and second is bash. It is mentioned here 2 times. That's why we are getting 4 lines here. So currently we only have 2 shells in this machine. sh means the original Unix shell and bash means born again shell. So if I talk about the types of shells in Linux, there are different types of shells available which we can use as per our own requirement. Now let's talk about each and every shell in detail. The first and commonly used shell is born again shell, and we call it bash. This bash or born again shell is the default shell in most Linux distributions. The second type of shell is sh, and we call it born shell. The name of the shell is born shell. It is the original Unix shell and it is the oldest shell that we use in Linux. The third shell is CSH, or we call it C shell. C shell is a shell with C-like syntax. In case if we want to perform some programming activity or if we want to use the C-like syntax, in that case we can use this C shell in our machine. To use any of these shells, we have to install the package first, and after that we can simply change the shell. It's very easy. In the upcoming sessions, I will tell you how can we install a package of the shell and how can we actually change the shell, how can we set the shell as the default shell for any user. The next type of shell is TCSH, or we call it Turbo C shell. It is the advanced version of the C-like shell or the C shell. The next type of shell that we use in Linux is Korn shell. Korn shell is also known as KSH. KSH or the Korn shell is a shell with additional scripting features. So this is used in scripting. And the latest shell name is ZSH. ZSH stands for G shell. This shell is having some advanced features with better scripting capabilities. And this is the latest shell that we can find in major Linux distributions. In case if we want to use a shell, we have to install the package first. From where we can install the package? Either we can download and install it from the local repositories, or we can use the online repositories. Okay. The shell prompt gets changed when we change the shell. This is the shell which we are currently using is bash. Have a look at this. We are currently using the bash shell. If we change the shell, suppose I want to use the sh shell. So what I will do, I will simply write sh here and press enter. So I just changed the shell. This shell is the original Unix shell, or we call it the bone shell. So you can see that the shell prompt has changed now. In case if we go back, we are on the bash shell again. So this is how we can change the shell. Now we will talk about the shell prompt. Have a look at this. This is called as the shell prompt. The shell prompt is the text that is displayed when the shell is ready to accept the user commands. It typically includes the name of the user, then @ sign, after that the machine host name, and then it shows us the current working directory location. After that, it shows us the user privileges either with the help of the pound sign or with the help of the $sign. If pound sign is mentioned over there, it means the user is the super user or the root user or having the administrator capabilities. In case if $sign is there, that means the user is a normal user. Let me switch in the account of Vikas Nehra user. Now you will clearly see the difference. This time the username is showing up here as Vikas Nehra and the machine host name is the same. Then the tilde sign is showing the present working directory location, which is /home/Vikas Nehra, and this $sign here, it is showing us that this user is a normal user account. While in case of root, we have a pound sign there. Okay. Now the question is from where the machine sets the shell prompt. So there is a variable which is used to set the shell prompt. The variable name is ps1. So these characters are important in order to set the shell prompt. If you change the value of the ps1 variable, the shell prompt will get changed. Let me write here Linux machine. So I change the shell prompt. Look at this. I can execute the commands, but the shell prompt is changed now. So in order to reset the shell prompt, what we have to do? We have to again change the value of the shell prompt variable. Or we can simply log out and log in back. Because this variable is present in a file which gets executed when we log in the machine. So that file will actually reset the value of the ps1 variable. There are multiple ps variables. We will cover each and every ps variable in the upcoming sessions. So you don't need to worry about it. It is just to show you that what is the role of a ps1 variable in order to set the value of a shell prompt. Let me show you one more time. Suppose you want to change the shell prompt to, like you want to display the machine host name first. So you can write here /h, then @ the username, and you can set it in this way. You have to close it Look at this. So we have reversed the order. Now the machine host name is showing in the beginning and the username is showing at the end. So this is how we can play with the PS1 variable value, and we can change the shell prompt, we can customize it, we can adjust it according to our own requirements. Okay. Now we will talk about Linux command format. A Linux command format typically follows a structured format. And what is the structured format? The command format actually follows this rule where we mention the command first, after that we define the options, and then we mention the argument. The command is the name of the program or the utility which we want to execute. It may be any script or the binary file like ls command, mkdir command, cp command. So the command is the program which we want to execute. Then this option, this flag is used to modify the behavior of the command. This options flag we use to change the behavior of the command. And the argument, it is the target on which we execute the command. So this argument specifies the target on which the command acts. It may be the file names, directory names, or the processes. How? Let me execute the ls command. So this ls is the command. I can simply execute the ls command like this. So by default, when we do not mention anything, the command get executed on the present working directory. So currently it is listing the contents of the present working directory. Let me use the options as well. Suppose I want to use the long listing format. So I will mention option -l. This option -l will modify the behavior of this ls command, and it will list the contents in tabular format. Okay. Then in case if we want to execute this on some other directory like /home/Vikas Nehra. So this is the argument which we have defined here. So this argument is the directory or the home directory of the Vikas Nehra user. So I'm trying to list the contents of the Vikas Nehra's home directory in the long listing format. As soon as I'll press the enter key, the result will display on the screen and it will show us the contents of the Vikas Nehra's home directory in the long listing format. So this is how we execute the commands, and a Linux command typically follows the command, option, and the argument in a structured format. Now let's take some more examples. Suppose I want to create a directory in the Vikas Nehra's home directory with the name as txt. So I can do that by running the mkdir command. mkdir -p for the parent child order, home Vikas Nehra test. So this mkdir is the command. Option -p is the option that can modify the behavior of the mkdir command. And /home/Vikas Nehra/test, it is the argument. As soon as I will press the enter key, it will add a directory in the /home/Vikas Nehra directory with the name as test. Look at this. If I want to list the directory, I can simply mention ls-ld and I can mention the entire path in the argument section. So the directory is successfully created there. Okay. Now let's take one more example. In case if I want to list the contents of my home directory in long listing format, including the hidden files, so I can use option -a as well. So this will list the files and directories, including the hidden directories and files in long listing format. Instead of running the command like this, I can also execute the command like this. So options we can define in this way as well. Both will show us the same results. Now let me take one more example where I can execute a command with multiple arguments. Let me create a file with the name as file1.txt. Touch command we can use to create the empty files. We will cover up in the upcoming sessions how can we create the files. So you don't need to worry about the commands. Touch file2.txt. Now we have file 1 and file 2. Suppose I want to copy file 1 and file 2 in TMP directory. So what can I do? I can simply execute the cp command like this. So this cp is the command that I want to execute. File1.txt and file2.txt. These are the multiple arguments and I want to copy these files to the TMP directory. So these are the source files and this TMP directory is the destination file. Look at this. Now let's verify the contents of the TMP directory. Look at this. File1.txt is there, file2.txt is there. So how can we execute a command with multiple arguments? We can define them serially. So cp is the command to copy the files. File1 and file2 are the arguments where we are defining multiple arguments for the source files, and TMP is the destination directory where we want to copy these files. Okay. Now I will tell you how can you use it with pipes. Suppose I want to list only the txt files in my home directory. So in the output of ls-l, I can simply grab the txt files like this. So it will only select the files which are having the txt keyword in their name. It will ignore the other files and directories. Okay. You don't need to worry about the pipes or the grep that I used in this command. I will cover it in the upcoming days. Now let's move to the next topic, which is man pages, and it is very important. In Linux, you can get help and documentation using various built-in tools like man pages, help commands, and info pages. Okay. How can you use the documentation? The manual command or the man pages provides detailed information, detailed documentation about commands, configuration files, and system calls. So what is the syntax to use the man pages? You have to write their man, and after that you can mention the command. Suppose I want to get the detailed information about the ls command. So what I will do, I will write their man in the beginning, and after that I can mention the command like ls. So this will open the manual of the ls command. Look at this. The name of command is ls. This is the short description. This command lists the directory contents. Then synopsis, how you actually execute the command. First you mention the command, then you define the option, and then you mention the argument. Here is the detailed description of this particular command. This command lists the information about the files, the current directory by default, short entries alphabetically if none of nor -f and short is specified. Mandatory arguments to long options are mandatory for short descriptions too. So in case if you want to include the options, Options are also given over there. Like if you use option -a, it will show you the hidden files also, means it will select all the files. -b you can use, -c you can use. So all the options which we can use with this command are showing here in this manual, and we can get the help with the help of the manual of this particular command. At the end, you will find the examples as well. You can get the detailed information about the author. You can report the bugs also. You can see the copyright information as well. So for all the commands that we use in Linux, we can see the manual there. So the man pages are available, which provides the detailed documentation, not only about the commands, but also about the configuration files and the system calls. Like I want to see the manual of the cd command. So I can write there man cd. So this will open the manual of the cd command. In this manual, you can go through the details, like what is the description, what are the options, what are the examples. So all the information is mentioned there about this command. Okay. Let me open the manual of the ls command. If you want to read the manual and you want to read it line by line, you can simply press the enter key. So it will shift only one line. In case if you want to read the manual page by page, suppose you want to jump on the next page, you can press the space bar. So space bar will allow you to go on the next page. In case if you want to quit this manual, simply press Q. Okay. In case if you want to search any string in the manual, how can you do that? Open the manual and use the /sign, press the slash key on the keyboard and mention the string name. Suppose I want to search hidden word. So I will write there /hidden. So there is no such string present in this file. Let's search some other word or some other string. Let's mention date. Have a look at this. It is highlighting the keyword or highlighting the string. In case if we want to jump on the next occurrence of the string, we can press N. In case if we want to jump to the previous occurrence of the string, we can press P. Okay. So how will you search a string? In the help manual, you will mention slash and you can mention the string. Suppose I am looking for the keyword as file. Look at this. It is highlighting it. I want to jump on the next occurrence. I will press N. I will press N. If I want to go back, I will press P. It is very simple. Linux man pages are actually divided into total 8 sections. Let me show you what are those 8 sections. Have a look at this. The first section is for the user commands like ls, cd, mkdir. The second section is for the system calls like open, close. Third section is for the library functions like printf, malloc. The fourth section is for the special files. For example, /dev/null. Fifth section is for the configuration files. For example, /etc/fstab. Sixth section is for the games. Seventh section is for the miscellaneous. For example, man7 regex. and 8th section for the system administration commands like IP tables. So Linux manual pages are divided into these 8 sections. Now, how will you know that which section is for which type of the file or the system call or the configuration file or something? You don't need to memorize it. You can simply run the man command. Man command actually is used to open the manual, and here we are opening the manual of this man command. So we are running man. First man is for the manual and second man is the command. So we are trying to open the help manual of the man command here. Look at this. The short description is showing man is an interface to the system reference manuals, and here in this manual you can easily go through the sections. The first section is for the executable programs or the shell commands. The second section is for the system calls. Third for the library calls. Fourth for the spatial files. Fifth for the file formats and the conventions. Sixth for the games. Seven for the miscellaneous. Eight for the system administration. And 9 is added there in for the kernel routines. So there are total 9 segments of the help manual. Okay. Now let me show you the use of these sections. Suppose I want to open the help manual of the ls command. So ls is the command or the user command. So it is falling in the section 1. So either we can open the manual by running the man command like man ls. It will open the help manual. Or we can write here man1. So after the man command, we mention 1 for the section. So ls is the command. So ls command is falling in section 1 category. So we can also execute this command like this. But ls is a command. It is not a system call. So if we write here 2 is there for the section 2 and section 2 is for the system calls. So ls command is not a system call. So it will show you no manual entry for ls in section 2. Similarly, if you write there man3 ls, so again, it will not show you anything for man4 ls as well, for man5 ls as well, man6 as well. There are no manual entries because ls is a command. It is an executable program which is falling in section 1 category only. Okay. Why it is helpful? It is helpful because in many cases we have a file and a program with the same name. How? Let's take the example. There is a passwd command which we execute to change the password of the user. Okay. So this command is actually running, or we are able to actually execute this command because of its binary file. The binary file of ls command is there in the usr bin directory. Look at this. So either we can execute the command like this, or we can simply write there passwd. In both the cases, it will execute the passwd binary file. How system knows about it? It's because of the path variable that we will cover up in the upcoming days. So the thing is, the passwd is a command. So passwd is falling in section 1. If we want to open the manual of this passwd command, so we can write here man1 passwd. Man1 passwd will open the manual of the passwd binary file or the command. Look at this. And this command is used to change the user password. But we have a file there in the etc directory with the name as passwd. This file actually contains the details of the local user accounts. So the file that I just shown you, it is in the etc directory. So it is a configuration file, and configuration files fall in the section 5 of man pages. So what can I do? If I want to open the help manual of this passwd file, I will write here man5 passwd. Man5 passwd will open the password file help manual. So in this case, both the command as well as the file are having the same names. So there, these sections are coming in the picture. They will help you whether you want to open the manual of the command or you want to open the manual of the file. Okay. If I simply run the man passwd, it is by default showing us the manual of the passwd command. But if we write here man5 passwd, then it is showing us the manual of the password file. Okay. To search the content of all man pages, you can use man-wk like this. -s1 SIGHUP. SIGHUP is a signal in Linux. So what I'm trying to do here, I want to search the content of all man pages, and here for this purpose I'm running the man-wk command, and for section 1 I'm mentioning here -s1, and this we are doing for the SIGHUP. So it will show us the result where this SIGHUP is present in the help manual. So it will search the content of all man pages. Okay. For a quick reference, many commands support --help flag. How? If I want to get the help for the ls command, I can simply run ls-help. This will display the summary of the options that I can use with the ls command, like this. Look at this. It will show us all the options that we can use with the ls command along with their descriptions. Similarly, for the shell built-in commands, a few of the commands are shell built-in, which are predefined in the shell. So for those, we can write help like this, help cd. So this will display all the options which are supported with this command. For the shell built-in commands, if we write --help like this, so that is also correct. The command will show you the same results. So for shell built-in commands, either you can get the help by running the command like this, or you can run the command like this. You can mention --help after the command. There are info pages as well. Info provides a more detailed structured guide than the man command. So for the ls command, if you want to get the information, you can run the info command like this, info ls. But for this, info command package must be present in your machine. The package is currently not installed in this machine of RHEL10, so it will show you the error. But if I use some other version like RHEL9, I can show you the command will execute successfully. Give me a minute, let me start the machine. Or instead of running another machine, we could have installed the package of this info command in this machine. But for that, we need to configure the repository. That's why I'm not going to install the package here that I will teach you at the time of the package management. So I am going to start another machine here of RHL9, and in this machine I'm going to log in through SSH. 192.168.229.129 is the IP address. I'm going to log in through the root user. Look at this. Info ls. This info ls command will give you a more detailed structured guide as compared to the man command. ls command lists the directory contents. The ls program lists the information about the files of any type, including the directories, options, and the files arguments can be intermixed arbitrarily as usual. So here it's easy for us to go through the manual because it is more detailed and structured and in structured format as compared to the man command. So this info pages you can access running the info command with the command that you want to execute. There is a command apropos. Apropos command is a very powerful command. With the help of this command, you can list all the related commands to that particular keyword. So this command is used to find the commands related to a particular keyword. Suppose I want to list the commands related to the network keyword. So I will run apropos network. So here on RHL9, it is showing us nothing appropriate. So that's not an issue. Let me execute this command on RHL10. Look at this. It is showing nothing appropriate. So there are no such commands related to network. Let me run mandb. This will update the indexes. Till then, let's try to search some other keyword. Suppose, let me write there list, or let's write there dir. Apropos ls. It is showing as nothing appropriate. Let's mandb execute first. Okay, now let's try again. Apropos network. Have a look at this. Earlier, it was not showing us anything about the network. But the same command we are able to execute after running the mandb. So what this mandb actually did, although it is uncommon, if you are unable to find newly installed programs using man command or running the apropos command, you can execute mandb. So mandb will regenerate the index cache for all the man pages. So what I did here, I was unable to find the commands related to the network keyword or the network string. So I just updated the index cache for the man pages. So after updating the index cache, I'm able to see a detailed list of the commands. Same we can try here on RHL10. Let's run mandb. So this will update the index cache, and after that, it should allow us to execute the command where we can get the output. Look at this. So we are able to list the commands which are having this keyword. Okay. if you want to see the short description of a command only, if you are interested to see the short description of a command, you can run what is ls. So it will show you the short description. What is chmod, what is mkdir, what is cd. So what is command is doing, it is showing us a short description of that particular command, and it is displaying this information from the main pages only. What is passwd? So passwd is a program with which we can change the password, and passwd is a file as well. So it will show us the details of both. Change user password and change the, it is a password file. Okay. If you want to find where a command is stored, for that you can run where is which, or you can check the type of the command as well. Let me run where is ls. So this will give us the detailed information about the location of the command. So where is ls? It is showing us the binary file location of the ls command. The ls command is getting executed from this location because the binary file is located in this location. Look at this. This is the location of the binary file of ls. If I will remove the binary file from this location, we won't be able to execute the ls command. This is the location of the help manual of the ls. So where is ls command? It shows us not only the location of the binary file, but also the location of the main pages. Okay. Similarly, if I run the which command, which ls, so it will give us the binary file location. Which cd, which mkdir, which mkdir. So it is showing us the binary file location only. So which command will give you the path of the binary file, while the where is command, it will give you the path of the binary file location and the help manual as well. If you want to check the type of a file or the type of a command, whether the command is shell built-in or it is an external command or it is an alias, you can simply run the type command. For the ls command, I can see alias is set there. If alias means the secondary name. If I want to check the type of the cd command, I know cd command is a shell built-in command. So if I run this command, it will show us the result as cd is a shell built-in. Similarly, let me run the type command for the mkdir. So it is a hashed. Hashed means it is getting executed from this binary location. This is the binary file of mkdir. Similarly, let me check for some other commands like touch. Touch is also there in the usr bin. Date. So date is also there in usr bin. So with the help of the type command, we can check the type of the command, whether it is a shell built-in command or whether it is an alias or it is getting executed from a binary file. For the online documentation of Linux manual pages, you can visit this URL. Let me open this URL. So there are 8 sections, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In section 1, we can see the details. Here you can search the command. Suppose I want to check for the ls command. Look at this. So this is for the online documentation, online manual pages. Okay guys, that's it from my side for today's session. Now I'll show you some practice questions with their answers, which you need to practice at your own. The first command and the first question is based on the man pages. Here, open the man pages for bash and search for the option to disable the command history. So how will you do this? You will run man bash, then you will run the slash and the history to find the relevant options. There you will find hist size variable there, which you can set as 0 to disable the command history. Find out which shell you are currently using. So for that, you can run echo $shell command. How will you list the available shells on your machine? So cat etc shells is the command. How will you change the default shell to ZSH? After installing the package, you can simply run ZSH or you can use the chsh command, which will help you to change the shell to default ZSH shell. How will you find the location of bash shell and its manual page? You can run which bash or you can run manw bash. How will you display the short description of sh shell? You can run the what is command. So there are total 6 questions. You can try these questions at your own. That's it from my side. If you have any questions, you can ask me.